Hi, everybody.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to Her Side of the Story podcast. We are in person.
We are so excited to be in person, y'all. We have been saying that we were going to be in person for a minute.
Yeah.
And we're here today.
Yes,
so we're excited for this.
Oh, so today we're going to start off let's just do a little fun game.
Yes.
Y'all can get to know us a little better.
Yes. We're going to do a little fun game. You know, sometimes we do love to play games around here.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, we're going to jump right into it, Raye.
All right, I'm ready.
I got a question for you. If I could swap lives with any celebrity for a day, who would it be?
Honestly, that's a tough one. I don't know. I'm thinking Rihanna.
Yes!
I know my bestie. I know her.
That's who it would be.
Yeah,
you know I love Riri.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's so funny. That's the only person who would be is Rihanna. I would say yours would be Tracee Ellis Ross.
I do love Tracee.
I know.
I do love Tracee.
Or Kelly Rowland. I feel like you give me like Kelly Rowland.
She does have a good life, though.
Yes.
Yeah.
But who would it be?
It'd be Kim Kardashian.
You know I was going to say Kim Kardashian.
I love Kim. Always.
But then I
know she gets a bad rep, but she's sweet.
Kim Kardashian. Yeah. We've talked about her before on the podcast. It was so funny. I was going to say, it's either Tracee Ellis Ross or Kim Kardashian. I was like, but I feel like she would want Tracee's life more.
Yes, I post Tracee a lot.
Yeah,
but
she's fabulous. It's Kim. I would want to have her life too, I'm not going to lie.
Right. All right, so I got the next one. What is my dream vacation? I'll just where?
Bali.
Yeah. Thailand.
Bali. You want to eat, pray, love.
Eat, pray, love in this season.
Yes. Yeah.
Let me see.
And where would mine be?
I feel like it would be, that's tough. You travel so much. So, where else is there for you to go?
I know.
Is it South Africa?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's on my list. That's on my top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joburg. Definitely want to see that and experience what that would be. That's a good one. You hit it.
Oh, I got it?
Yeah, you got it.
See?
Yeah, that's a top.
We are 5. Real besties,
yes.
For real.
That's a top 5. That's in the next 5 years, I would really like to go to South Africa. Yeah.
I hear it's really beautiful.
Me too.
Yeah.
And the wine. We love the wine. Okay. What is my love language?
Physical touch. Ashley loves to touch her loved ones. She likes to give hugs, give kisses.
I do.
That's what I think it is.
Yeah. Yeah, you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I would say close second is gifting.
Yes. I love to give gifts. Yeah, I love to give gifts. I would say yours is quality time and acts of service.
Acts of service. I like a nice meal prepared.
Yes.
Just help you
wash your car.
Yes.
Pick up the dry cleaning. Yeah. Walk the dog.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gotta walk my baby girl.
Yes.
All right. Let's see. If you had to live without coffee or social media for a year, which one would you give up? You would give up coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're not a coffee drinker.
No. No.
Yeah.
No. For you, I would say the social media because you've done it. We both have done it, but you've done it recently, giving up social media for more than a year.
Yeah, so, I was 2 years one time almost.
Same, yeah.
So,
and you run on coffee, so you need a coffee.
I need it every day.
Yeah, you need coffee every day. Okay. If I had a superpower, what would it be?
I don't think it's that one. I was going to say telepathy.
Oh, that's...
Maybe teleportation.
Girl.
That's it. So you could be in a different places.
That's it.
I know my best.
That's it. I would say yours would be mind reading.
Yeah.
Yep. Yep.
I said mine first.
I was like,
do we both want to read people's minds?
Yeah, I was like, you're right. Mine would be being able to transport myself back and forth very easily. I could be here in a second. I could be back and be more in a second. So.
All right. And our last question before we get into today's topic.
Yes.
If I won the lottery tomorrow, what's the first thing I would buy?
A beautiful home.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah. Yeah. A beautiful home for yourself.
Second place student loans.
Yes.
Second place student loans.
No, for real.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you would buy a property too, but I think it would be abroad.
Yes. Oh, you know me so well. Yeah, somewhere like a nice vacation home. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so that was just a little get to know us So today's episode, we are talking about success.
Yeah.
And what that really means as a woman, what that looks like as a woman.
In this modern
this modern day of living and life. So we're going to get right into the topic.
Mm-hmm. Well, a lot of days, like a lot of things you hear nowadays is like, am I going to be a soft girl or am I going to be a hustle type girl? Or can you be both? Is it a mix? I know personally, like, I used to hustle, like hustle 2 and 3 hard. Jobs at a time.
Yes.
And now I can say like I'm more of in a soft girl era. Like I just don't believe in overworking, over hustling, and not having, not doing what you need to do to better yourself on your day to day.
Yeah. I definitely feel like you're really in your soft girl era because how you keep your home. You've always, and I've talked about this before, you've always kept your home so beautifully. But I feel like in these last few years, the way you run your house and like the organization of it gives luxury soft girl life.
I watched The Home Edit. I love that show. Yes. That's where I get my ideas from. Yes. So it ain't all original. I just like things organized. So I'll watch a show, HGTV or The Home Edit, and I'll go to the store, grab some things and make sure everything is organized.
Yeah, that's what it gives. I feel like I've always been a soft girly.
Yeah.
But I work hard.
You do.
But I definitely am. I've always been soft girl era.
Yeah.
She invented it.
Really? She's not the average, like, hustle girl. She's a quiet hustler. I feel like for some girls that have that extreme hustle, you can see it.
Yeah.
Ashley's always been behind the scenes. When we were in college, she was the first to have a job. Things like that.
Yeah. I enjoy working.
Yeah.
I do. I really do. Especially when it's something I like to do. So, but I do think you got both. I think that it doesn't have to be such this extreme of like, I think a lot that what we see on social media is such the soft girl era. I have to be my soft girl era. I have to be my feminine era, which I agree we should embrace and take in. But I do think you can hustle and still be in that, especially when you're doing something you love. I think that's a great way to balance that like hustle and soft girl because you kind of can determine how much you're willing to give or not give to the one thing. Right? So I think you can have a mix.
Yeah, I think so too. But also too, it kind of matters how much you're influenced by society because we have these soft feminine girl eras and it's like, okay, if you're doing anything other than that, then you're not a woman.
Yes.
Like, let's be for real. They say that you're too hard. And if you hustle too hard, you're never going to get a man.
Yep.
You too independent.
Yes.
So,
God.
I think it's healthy to have a balance between the two. And personally, that's where I am right now.
Yeah.
I'm in my soft girl era. I don't overwork myself. No. I actually took a compressed week just so I don't, I'm not overworked anymore.
That for you.
That Friday off.
you need that.
Yeah.
Like that is such a good schedule for you now.
And I only do like one nice thing or if I just want to lay and watch Netflix, I do that, So I think you can have a mix.
Yeah, I agree. I think just the daily grind, you have to, even if you are a hustler and grinding, which I think a lot of us are, you have to find ways to put some softness into it. Yeah. So how do you, Raye, like define success for yourself outside of this like societal pressures of what success looks like for women in modern day?
You know what's so interesting? If you had asked me this question 5 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago, I would have had such a different answer. But success now is like what fulfills you. Like what fulfills me is my definition of success. I feel like prior to that, it would have been like, oh, what does my family want me to do? What do my friends, think I should be doing? And I would go after those goals. Y'all know I got 11 million degrees. I would go after those goals and feel so empty after receiving them because there wasn't my true motivation. And so after that last one, I was like, this is the last one. And I, thought I wanted a PhD, but I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
Because you got to make sure it's fulfillment itself and not fulfillment or what others want for you. And that's not what I want right now.
Yeah.
What about you?
Agree 1,000%. I think success for me is anything that brings me joy.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yeah. If I'm doing something and I'm not joyful about it, it wasn't successful, you know? And that's work, personal,
everything.
anything. It then requires me to kind of reevaluate some things. So for me, the definition of success now where I currently sit is anything that makes me happy. Yeah. Before, like, I agree, it would definitely be pressures of what my family wanted or what I thought, how people saw me, and things like that. But now, as long as I'm happy, that's success.
I know a lot of people say like success is measured on, your money, your power. It's funny that you said peace because we didn't talk about money nor power. So any thoughts?
I think let's be real. I'm not going to pretend like money and power don't help you. No, like, you know what I mean? A
little coin do.
Yeah, like, oh, my peace is the only thing I need. Yeah, true. But you needs the monies. You needs the power. I think both of those things, it's so funny we're having this conversation because a few weeks ago, Lily and I had this conversation. I said, what do you value more, money or power? And he was like, money. And I was like, really? I value the power.
I don't know. I'm in the middle because money is great, but I think I want to be respected. I don't like the word power too much, but I would like to be respected. And money is great. Yeah. Like you have to have it in today's society and then
to thrive. Yeah.
And you need a lot of it now.
A lot. Them eggs costing $10.99.
It's
too
much.
12 eggs, baby. You can't get them without no money.
I stop eating eggs. I can't even.
Listen, sure. I love me a little scramble. But I agree. I think the money and the power are important for the success. And I think when you become successful, those things come. Right?
When you're chasing your passions, those things come. I always, I don't think it's unique to me, but I always say like, that's when I shift my mindset. Yep. Chase your passion instead of the money because it seems like it takes longer. Yeah. Like do things that you love and the money will come.
It will come. I agree with that. I think, and the respect will come because then you become the expert in
your niche, whatever it is.
Exactly. Yep. I agree. So how has your definition of success changed over time, would you say?
When I say success was going to school, getting a degree, becoming a doctor, being a wife, that was my vision of success. Or, like what I said a minute ago, what my family or friends wanted for me. Now I want the same thing. Like success is, let's be for real. In today's society, keeping a roof over your head, having something to eat, being able to treat yourself and have good people around you that you love and care about, that's success. Yeah. Breathing is success right now. Yeah. So, just having that humbleness. Yeah. It's so crazy because, when you go after these big goals, you kind of can lose humility. I think that's important in success in today's world right now. So that's kind of my definition.
Yeah. I would say for me, it would have to be how it's changed over time. I was just doing and going and really thinking that this plan, these 5-year goals, 10-year goals, whatever it would be, was all that I had. If I veered from it, I was having a meltdown. Where now, even though, yes, I'm a planner, I'm rigid in that regard, sometimes when things don't go my way with something that I wanted to be successful and it may not happen, I definitely am able to take a step back and say, okay, let me pivot here. This wasn't as successful as I thought, or this didn't turn out how I thought it would be. So let me rearrange myself. Let me move something here. But I still pick myself up. Where before I feel like if it wasn't successful on the first try.
Oh my God, yes. Detrimental.
Detrimental to anything, to me moving forward, whether that was a relationship, whether that was a job, whether that was school. And a great example is chemistry for me in college was such a struggle. I did not like chemistry. And I failed it one semester. And I was like, oh my God, I'm never going to graduate with no biology degree. And I was like, you know what, Ashley, you've cried, you've sulked. how are we going to do this? I went to my teacher's classroom every day. I became his TA. Mm-hmm. Girl, I was grading people's thing. I was in there like, no.
Yeah, I need to pass.
I need to pass. And sure, lo and behold, that man passed me with a C. I said, listen.
We'll take it.
We'll take it. Because he was like, I honestly, Ashley, I passed you not because you really know chemistry, but because you showed determination. Yeah. And you showed that you were serious about, wanting to do well and at least learning something. Mm-hmm. Girl, so we that was a success to me as long as I passed.
Yeah, I feel like you made a great point there though too. Like in terms of, you might see it as a failure. Yeah. All it is a pivot. Like, just pivot a little bit. Yep. And, it'll work out.
Yeah, I agree. It always does.
So, coming up is a couple of my favorite words, motivation versus discipline. I think a lot of people intertwine those, but I see them so different.
Okay.
More so like, motivation is temporary, but discipline is what gets you to whatever, end goal you want, whatever level of success. So before I jump in, any thoughts about motivation and discipline and how you define them?
Yeah, I never looked at it like that, which I love that you say that because I think motivation is like, but when you say that, you're correct. Motivation is what gets you going. Mm-hmm. The discipline is what sustains you. And, the motivation, sometimes people feel like the discipline is harder. I think sometimes the motivation is harder.
I feel like the discipline is harder. Oh, now we got a debate going.
Yeah. I think sometimes because I think the motivation at times can be the thing that took years to even master, like come up with the idea. Usually the motivation is the idea. Okay, I want to lose 10 pounds. Mm-hmm. But for the last 3 years, I eat a cheeseburger every day. Mm-hmm. Right? So it's like when you finally are like, it's enough. I'm really motivated to do this. I've been talking about this. I've been doing this. To me, that's the ultimate of the courages. The discipline. I
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The discipline is hard too. Don't get me wrong. Because sometimes you want to eat the cheeseburger, but instead you got to eat the broiled salad and the chicken and the every day.
Croutons.
And got to remove the croutons, But I think sometimes the motivation is like really when you've reached, I don't want to say rock bottom, but usually is the point where you're like, I can't do what I'm doing any longer.
Yeah.
And that can take sacrifice. That can be scary. That's really sometimes life-changing. So sometimes I feel like the motivation is a little bit harder to come up with than the discipline.
No, I do not agree. Discipline, okay, I always like to say it this way. I've seen so many talented people. Yeah. I've come across artists, basketball, whatever, talented people and whatever their talent is, but they don't have the discipline. And they're in the same spot 5 years from now. Probably 10 years from now. And it's because they don't want to get up. They don't want to network. They don't want to be wherever their craft is. And I don't understand that because I'm a very disciplined person. Like I wake up super early. I got a whole routine, but I've always been like that. Like I know that it takes discipline to, get whatever goal that you're going for that you want. So I think that's what makes or break a person's success in my eyes are they disciplined enough to stay on track to do the things they need to do to, lock in.
Yeah. I think
it's laziness.
Yeah. Yes, fair. I think they definitely go hand in hand.
Yeah.
I don't think you can have one without the other. You know what I mean? Because discipline is habit. Creating a habit. Right. And the motivation, like you said, you've come across so many talented people who don't want to even go to the networking event. That's motivation.
Yeah.
You're not motivated to go to those things.
Okay. We're connecting.
Right. So it's they're both, I don't think, because the question was basically like one versus the other. I don't think it's a versus. I think it's more so a partnership. You have to have both. You can't be motivated to not eat a cheeseburger and then lose 10 pounds if you don't go to the gym.
What's interesting about, you say they kind of go together. I can have discipline with no motivation, though.
But then
maybe the motivation was early on in the grand scheme of things, but discipline keeps me on track.
But then don't you think like the discipline is just habit then? Habit forms.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah. Maybe I'm just a disciplined person.
You are. But I think for you to have as many degrees as you have, the motivation started with you just going to college. Then the discipline became, I want to get this, which is part of motivation, but you stuck with it to get higher than just a bachelor's degree. You get what I mean? So I think you're naturally a disciplined person.
Yeah.
So I think for you, they go naturally. It's like, oh, I was motivated. That motivation's down here. The discipline's up here. You know what I mean? But that's you have a drive.
Yeah.
That a lot of people don't have.
I've seen some greats, and if they had that discipline piece and motivation piece, they'll be famous.
Famous.
Yeah.
That was a good little discussion. Okay, so since we're talking about discipline, Miss Disciplinarian, how do you push through on days that you don't feel the motivation? Because you got the discipline down. So how are we pushing through when we don't have the motivation?
Honestly, you got to give yourself rest.
Yes.
You're talking to a very disciplined person, and that's what's different about me now. I'm like, okay, you do have all this to do, but you're gonna die trying if you don't go to sleep, if you don't get some rest, if you don't get something to eat. Sometimes it's that simple. We forget to eat. Get up and get right in our day. Haven't had a piece of fruit, nothing, just work. So, I mean, motivation right now is, just being my best self, not for nobody else, because a lot of my goals were people driven. So that's the motivation. I want to be my best self, my healthiest self in all realms, physically, mentally, spiritually. So yeah, I push through with that. Like, you want to be your best self. And it's okay if you're not super disciplined today. You can rest and you can get back to it. So that's how I push through.
I love that. The rest is so important. Such a underrated thing. Like a few weeks ago, you checked on me because I was having
You was experiencing burnout.
I literally was like, physically could not speak because I was so burnt out.
Yeah.
And I wasn't resting. And, one of the things this year I had said was like, once a week, I'm going to find a way to like rest for myself, which I've not really done.
Okay. So you need an accountability partner.
Yes.
Got it.
So you are reminding me that I have a lot of motivation. I also too have a lot of discipline and drive. I have a lot of drive.
Yeah.
I think more than the motivation or discipline. I have a lot of drive. I have a lot of like focused, and I'm going on 100 miles an hour, and I don't care what's in my way. I will bulldoze through, no matter how bad I'm feeling, no matter how tired. That's just me.
That's not healthy, though.
It's not. It's not. And I need my rest. And I'm going to take it more seriously, because I do think even on the days when I can't push through, it's okay if I can't.
Yeah,
it's okay if I don't feel motivated today. And I think I always have to be on. I always have to be driven. I always have to do this. And you are reminding me that, and talking through this, that I don't always have to be that way.
No.
So yes, I will work on that. So check in back with me next time to see how I'm really faring with that. So.
Well, I know we talked about a lot so far, but there's this misconception, like a success has to be like on the struggle bus.
Child. I'm tired. I'm tired of struggling.
Yeah. So what do you think about that? Like,
it's a no.
And
like,
you ain't gonna be on the struggle bus, what you saying, towards success.
No. I think sacrifice
has
to sometimes happen for success. I don't need to struggle.
I love that.
Yeah. I don't need, and if I am struggling, I don't need to do it by myself.
Yeah.
I don't need to independently struggle. And I guess what are we talking, when we say struggle, what do we really mean? I think sacrifice must be given. I think sacrifice and struggle, that's a word. When people talk about success, they really intertwine. They're different. You don't have to be struggling to be successful. I think, again, in order to be successful, a lot of people, especially women, because I will speak for myself, at times feel like you can't ask for help.
Yeah.
You can't go to another woman who you know's in a place you want to be in because you're afraid of their response, or you think, oh, they're not going to help me.
And for the listeners out there, that's actually the quickest way to get to where you want to be.
It is.
See somebody like, ask them about their business or, who they are. And people are more willing to talk to you than you think about those type of things. You just got to get out there.
Yeah. So the struggle for me, I don't want to struggle. I'm okay with making some adjustments, some sacrifices, But if I'm struggling that much to get to this success, is it worth it?
Yeah, and you need some help. Like you said, the world is full of prideful people. Just ask for some help sometimes. People are more likely to want to help you, especially when it's something that you're passionate about.
Yeah. And that you show, even if they're at the top of where they are, where you want to be, them seeing how hard you've worked to get to where they are, that sometimes when someone looks at you who you admire, they'll say, this person's serious.
Yeah.
I'm going to pour into them. I'm going to invest some time into them. I'm going to give them some resources because I see this young lady is really working hard to do this. So that's my take on it. What's your take on it, Raye?
So I feel like mine's a little different.
Okay.
So I believe in struggle to an extent. People have to go through some sort of struggle to get to their goals. That's what I believe. A lot of people, is back to the discipline part, they think that they're going to be an overnight success. Overnight success people are rare. It's not a thing.
It is very rare.
Don't think that the path to whatever you want is going to be easy. It's not. So I guess that's kind of my take on struggle.
Fair.
Not struggle bus, but struggling
there will be
a little bit. There will be challenges.
Yeah, it's not. It's unrealistic.
But you shouldn't be on a struggle bus.
Yeah.
You should get a team and, get some good people behind you.
Yeah.
And you won't have to struggle as hard.
And just someone who believes in what you want as much as you do. Like that's even just that. Someone who, like you said, the accountability partner who's like, hey, you said by this month you're going to have your website up.
Yeah.
Where's the website? You say, oh, I'm struggling to find a creative, a web designer. Oh, here, I know somebody. That's something, just something like that. Like saying, so I agree. I definitely think there is struggle. Let me take that back.
Maybe it's the wording that we're not liking, but
I spoke a little too soon.
Yeah.
I do think there will be hardships on the way, on the road to success. The road to success was not paved overnight, was not made easy. I definitely think there will be struggles there. And just like I said, there was failure. I struggled in the chemistry, but it's how you pick yourself back up.
And y'all see, I ain't saying nothing about my struggles. And I won't.
That's okay. You can hold those close to the chest. That's okay. You can hold those close to the chest. So we've been speaking a lot about self-care. And
it's kind of a series right now.
It
our
really
past two episodes have really
is dove into self-care. So what is the balance for you between ambition and self-care? But I think you kind of answered. It's the rest.
Yeah, you said it. The word is balance.
Yeah.
Like, what am I going so hard for? That's literally a question I ask myself. Like, okay, this is not, it's serious, but it ain't that serious.
No.
Like, it's not worth, working to 10 p.m. at night, turning around, getting up 6 a.m. and at 5 o'clock. And I used to be like that. Just, no. I have to find balance.
Yeah.
That's all. That's what I'm doing. What about you?
I'm lacking in this area with the balance. You
don't have none.
I don't have none. It's out the window. It's gone. Yeah.
I get a little better with that, sis.
Yeah, I got a lot better. Like, I have no balance. I'll be at dinner on my laptop. I don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, on the phone. Well, you saw it yesterday. Like,
you were working.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was a lot.
Yeah. So I definitely need to get better with the balance, with the ambition, with the self-care. Because like I said, I go 100 miles an hour all the time. And that's just where we are.
This next one. So talking, we talked a lot about like the difference in how our definitions for success has changed.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to know, what is your biggest success now, today?
Only caring about what I think. Period. That's it. Like, only caring about what I think. How it shapes my life. Like, my mom always used to tell me, this is your life.
Yeah.
Yes, it's your dad and I and what we would like for you. But at the end of the day, it's only your life. Yeah. God only gave you one life that we know of, and it's yours. And what are you going to do to make yourself happy, make yourself feel successful, make yourself feel accomplished? That's it for me. That's the biggest one for me. I used to care so much about what people thought about me, what I did, what I didn't do, how I make them feel. I still care about how I make people feel, but sometimes in moderation. Yeah. So, but success for me is really about what matters to me. And that's it. That not even my partner, not my friends, like what, and some things that I do, people may not always understand, but I'm doing it for me. That's it for me. Yeah.
Drops mic.
The mic is dropped. What about you?
I always got to be like, got to talk about the past.
Yeah.
So if you ask me this again 5-10 years ago, my success would have been all that stuff I listed earlier. Yeah. But honestly, today, success for me is still being a kind, empathetic, sweet person, a confidant that people can count on. That's my biggest success. Yeah. Like remaining pure, sweet and pure, genuine in a hardened world.
Yes.
Like you see so many things happen to people in their life, and they're just, they hate the world, they hate everything around them. Yeah. And I've had some things happen in life that probably,
of course, we all have,
could have made me like that, and I'm like the opposite. And I'm proud of myself for being that person. That's what I'm most happy about.
I'm proud of you too for that, because you deserve to be that too. Yeah. Because that's your soft feminine era. You deserve to be genuine and pure and happy and joyful.
Yes.
Because you have gone through so much, and to see you stand as you are, it's amazing. And I love that for you.
Love.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So what advice would you give to women who are still figuring out their success path?
It takes time. It takes time. Stick with it.
Yeah.
Ask for help. Don't let that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers of failures that you think. Remember, those are roadblocks. That does not mean that's the final chapter. That does not mean that is the final failure.
Yeah.
And definitely surround yourself, which we've talked about this so much. Surround yourself with people who see the vision too and who believe in you. Because sometimes there are people in the background who are so negative and telling you that's not going to be nothing. Oh, that dream is fake, fugazi. Oh, you're never going to do that. And you let those thoughts creep inside your head.
Yeah.
And then you're done with it. Don't let that be you. Don't let that be you. Stick with it. If it's really meant for you, pray on it.
Yeah.
Believe in yourself. Because if you...
That's the part, believe in yourself. Yeah.
If you have this vision, there's a reason. God gave you this vision for a reason, or the higher being, whoever you may believe in, gave it to you for a reason. You gave it to yourself, whatever it may be, but stick with it. You got this. What would be yours?
It'd be really everything you said. Yeah. But I'll stress the time part. It takes time, and because society is so competitive, and women have joined the competitive race as well. Statistically, women, you have to know you got to play the long game. You're more successful over time, not overnight, not as fast as a man. Take your time. So I'll stress that point. It takes time. And like you said, believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. I know it's very Disney movie line, but it's the truth.
It's the truth. Yeah, it's definitely the truth. Okay, so I've been doing so well and have not been forgetting.
Yes.
What is something we are loving?
Oh, we're closing with our product. Okay. Yes. So, I know. So my favorite product of the week has to be my koi. My koi
Beautiful.
Set.
We love her.
She is it's by a woman, and she makes jewelry.
Beautiful jewelry.
Beautiful, one-of-a-kind pieces. I like things that are different. So when I saw this, I was like, I gotta get it. So yeah, shout out to Koi, KHOI.
Yes. Yeah, she makes beautiful woman-owned, Black-owned business.
Yes.
We love her stuff, and she's a fashionista. Yes. Her Insta stories alone will be inspiring the outfits, honey. Okay, so yeah,
she inspired this whole look.
Yeah, and you look good.
Thank you.
You look good.
You look good too.
You look good. Okay, mine would have to be. Oh gosh, see, I came hard last time with my text thread. I mean, my send text later. Mine would have to be. This is going to be a funny one. The pilot who got me here. Very successful. Very thankful for that man.
Yes. Southwest.
So with all that has been happening, as you guys know, I was very nervous to get on a plane.
To come see me.
To come see you. And from the moment I got into the airport, the staff at Southwest was so nice, so lovely. You can tell that people are, at least in the airport staff, they are realizing that people are probably really nervous and scared. Yeah. And not that they're rude before, but it was more, and mind you, I had a flight at 6, I was at the airport at 4:30 in the morning.
Early.
And just, hi, good morning, how are you? How are you today? Like, and I was like, oh, this is nice.
Different.
Yes,
Yeah.
and once we got on the plane and seated and everything, the pilot was giving us, which I had never had, updates on how far we were, how many more hours, how many more minutes. And I was like, oh, when we landed, he said, I just thank you for entrusting me. He did say that. He's like, I really thank you for entrusting me with your lives today and being here with me. And I'm just so happy we got here safely. And everyone was like, yes, thank you. So shout out to him. I don't know his name and he may not watch this, but Southwest, keep that man employed.
Yes.
Keep that man employed, okay? Because he was a very good pilot, probably one of the best pilots I had. And Southwest, your customer service was simply amazing. And just having that anxiety, which I never get of flying because I'm a flying girly, I felt it this time. And it was just such a beautiful, smooth trip. And I got here so safely. And thank you to you too, for praying for me.
Yes, I was praying down.
The prayer really.
That plane is going to stay in the sky.
Stay in the sky and land smoothly. Okay,
yes.
So
get you some praying friends.
Get you some, hello, and a praying mama, honey.
Yes.
Needed. So, but yeah, those are my things.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for our first In Session episode. We hope that you stay tuned in.
Yeah. And thank you guys just for being here. We can't wait to see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye.